Welcome to my YouTube channel Explore and Discover. Gaza, a land where history, culture, and tragedy intertwine. For decades, this narrow strip of land, bordered by Egypt, Israel, and the Mediterranean Sea, has borne witness to a cycle of violence, displacement, and political turmoil. Yet within these borders, there is more than just struggle. There is resilience, there is hope, and there is life. The arrival. As we enter Gaza, we are greeted not by silence, but by the hum of a vibrant city, teeming with life. The streets are crowded with people going about their daily lives. Children rush to school, families gather in markets, and vendors sell fresh produce by the roadside. But this city, this land, has borne the weight of conflict for generations. The story of Gaza is not one of simple struggle, but of resistance and survival. The history of Gaza. To understand Gaza's present, we must first look at its past. This land, rich in history, has been home to countless civilizations. From the ancient Philistines to the Ottomans, Gaza has long been a crossroads of cultures, trade, and conflict. But in recent decades, Gaza has become a symbol of a far deeper struggle, a struggle for land, for identity, and for self-determination. The roots of today's conflict can be traced back to the mid-20th century, when the political landscape of the Middle East began to shift, bringing about the creation of the State of Israel in 1948 and the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. The blockade. For over a decade, Gaza has been subjected to a blockade imposed by Israel, in an effort to limit the flow of weapons and resources to militant groups. But for the people living here, the blockade is not just a political maneuver. It is a daily reality. The streets of Gaza are filled with the remnants of conflict, buildings that have been bombed, streets littered with debris, and a population struggling to make ends meet. Electricity is scarce, water is contaminated, and the economy is in ruins. The blockade has left Gaza isolated from the outside world, cutting off not just essential supplies, but also opportunities for education, healthcare, and economic development. We have lived under this blockade for as long as I can remember. It's not just about the food or the medicine, it's the feeling that the world has forgotten us, that no one cares. But we don't give up. We can't. The human cost. The human toll of the blockade is staggering. Hospitals struggle to provide care with limited resources. Medicine is in short supply, and the healthcare system is overwhelmed. Children, the most vulnerable of all, are suffering the consequences of this prolonged siege. We don't have enough medicine to treat our patients. The electricity is often out, and we're forced to work in the dark. The children are the hardest hit. They are born into this conflict, into a life of uncertainty. We do our best, but sometimes, it's just not enough. Education amidst ruin. Despite the hardships, education remains a beacon of hope for many. Schools may be damaged, supplies may be scarce, but children still walk to school each day, eager to learn and dream of a better future. In Gaza, education is not just about academics. It is about resilience. It is about giving children the tools to rebuild, to create, and to survive. Every day, I look at these children and I see their determination. They want to learn. They want to know about the world beyond these walls. Despite everything, they still have hope. And that gives me hope. The young generation's dreams. The youth of Gaza represent both the challenges and the future of this land. They have grown up with the scars of conflict, but they also hold dreams of a better tomorrow. Many of them are trying to break free from the cycle of violence, to pursue careers in education, technology, and medicine. Yet for many, opportunities are limited. The economy is crippled, the blockade limits travel, and international borders are closed. Still, they hold on to hope, driven by the desire for change. I dream of being a doctor. But it's hard here. We don't have the resources, and I can't even travel abroad to study. But I can't let that stop me. I will find a way. I owe it to my family, to my community, to myself. The spirit of community. Amidst the devastation, the spirit of community is alive and thriving in Gaza. Families, neighbors, and local organizations are working together to rebuild what has been lost. They share what little they have, and they continue to care for one another. Gaza's resilience is not just in its buildings, but in its people. They are not just surviving, they are living, they are dreaming, and they are creating new futures for themselves. The international community. The situation in Gaza is not just an internal matter, it is a global issue. The international community has a role to play in addressing the humanitarian crisis, lifting the blockade, and working toward a lasting peace. But for years, efforts have been fragmented. Political negotiations have failed, and the people of Gaza continue to suffer. What is needed now is not just dialogue, but action. It is not just enough to watch from the sidelines. The world must act. A vision for peace. In Gaza, despite the violence, there is still a vision of peace. People continue to dream of a day when the guns fall silent, when the blockades end, and when their children can live in a world free of fear. It is a dream that, for now, seems distant. But in Gaza, hope is more than just a feeling, it is a force that drives the people forward, every single day. The story of Gaza is one of struggle, yes. But it is also a story of survival, of resilience, and of hope. In Gaza, every day is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. And though the challenges are immense, so too is the will to overcome them.